Oh. Ferrets in a coma, I know, it's serious. Kiddos, I was just going to go to bed and I realized that you guys have not been up for hours. So I didn't want to deny you a playtime, but I guess you are waking up. What about number 3? Is she in there too? Oh, she let out a little sleep sound. And Mitzi, meanwhile, is going, time for lunch. Maybe you guys will just eat something and go back to bed. Angus. Mitzi's right on top of you. Mitzi, you just woke right up and went to munch. These funny ferrets. Mitzi's like, what? Your guys' bowl was empty. I'm sorry. Oh, somebody asked me about ferret supplies, so I guess I could do a quick little video here. Of course, my one thing I always tell people is buy the book Ferrets for Dummies, because most people don't have a clue about ferrets, and if you go to pet stores, they'll tell you stupid things like ferrets are related to rabbits and you can feed them carrots and crap like that. So buy a book, and don't believe the shit you read in the internet either, because most of it's written by 12-year-olds that don't have a clue. So get the book Ferrets for Dummies. You can also come join my Facebook group called Ferretocious Friends and learn a lot from me and other ferret owners that have had ferrets for years and years. I've had them now for 16. Anyway, oh, I gotta put a baby gate up. Wait a minute, and we'll continue this video, but I need to let the monsters out or I'll never be able to go to bed. Hold on. So, okay, supplies. There you go. Number 1, get a good baby gate. This one is the North States. This is the extra high gate. Only get if you're taller. I'm only 5'6", and I catch my pajama crotch on the screw. But it's a really good gate because it's solid plastic. I've had it for about 4 years now, and even though it's fallen over a couple times, knocked it over, it hasn't broken or anything. And here, Mocha, demonstrate how more agile kitties can easily get over it. There you go. Anyway, but get yourself a good baby gate. They're not that expensive. If you go to the main page of my my YouTube page, there is a link there to my Amazon store, and I have that baby gate linked. So anyway, so first thing you want to get is a good cage. This cage, you don't really need a cage this big unless you've got lots of ferrets, but this is the Quality Cages Ferret Mansion, and it's about the best cage out there. Most shelters use this cage because one thing it has that most cages don't have is liftable panels. These ramps in there actually lift up and lock. So if you have different groups of ferrets that, you know, shelters can't afford to have all this space with 3 ferrets. So, you know, 3 ferrets really could live in a cage just like that if they've got, get lots of out of cage space time. So a lot of times they'll put bonded pairs in here and, you know, maybe 4 that get together well in this whole lower section or whatever. A cage like this is very pricey though. This one's over $300. I actually picked this up barely used, free from the shelter. I was volunteering at the time. So, but there's lots of, there's the Ferret Mansion, there's, oh, I'd have to think of some of the other ones, but make sure it's got good quality cage secure bars. You want to make sure that the gaps are not too big. That's really important. You don't want to use a chinchilla cage or a bird cage or Mitzi, I hadn't opened the door and gate, and Mitzi was like, get the fucking door open. Anyway, so you want to have bars that aren't too far apart here that ferrets can squeeze their heads through because they could choke themselves. You want doors too that are big enough to fit litter boxes in and out of. This cage it's cool because these little lofts have smaller doors, and then the bigger levels have these huge doors that are open wide, and I can easily reach all the way to the back there and clean everything. If you have a cage like this, you don't really want to leave these metal bars like this because they could catch their toes, and it probably just doesn't feel so good either. What I do is I buy this self-stick tile from the Lowe's, and this is just some ugly tile that was in my old apartment, my old house rather, but I'm going to get some cool black and white checker or something, make it look cooler. But every 6 months or so I just tear it out and put new in, but it really helps, a lot easier to clean, because obviously if they poop and it gets into these little, you know, rungs, really hard to clean. So far easier to just take your cleaner and clean the tiles off. You want litter boxes. There's these corner litter boxes. They're okay for secondary litter pans. Put them in extra corners that the ferrets might use, but you really want to use bigger litter boxes. What I use are small cat litter boxes. They're about the size of a small cookie sheet, I guess. And they're higher. They're a little higher side, but gives the ferrets more room to turn around. Those little tiny boxes, the males, especially the males, that tend to pee and poop at the same time. The pee will be on the floor and the poop will be in the pan, or they'll put their front legs in the pan and then poop on the floor. So yeah. The other thing I do is I've subscribed to the local paper, just so I have newspaper to put in the extra corners, because as you can see, there's a lovely turd right there. Another thing you want to get are bowls. What's really good for water bowls, one thing I don't recommend is having water bottles. Water bottles are good for secondary backup water supply. Like, let's say you're going out of town and you do have a ferret sitter coming over every day, but you know, it's a teenager and you think they might forget to fill the water. Well, have a water bottle or two on the cage. That way you know for sure the ferrets aren't going to run out of water. But you want to have bowls, because ferrets like to get big mouthfuls of water. If you give them just a water bottle, they're only getting little licks at a time. These are great bowls. They're called the Locket Crock. You can buy them at ferretstore.com, Ferret Depot, Dr. Foster Smith. And they have a little nut on the bottom. And they just, a bracket that goes on the cage, and then they just lock into place, and so the ferrets can't tip them. What it doesn't prevent them from doing, though, is I have little Mitzi here will dig in the water bowl, which maybe she's coming up to want to demonstrate. They're so funny. They're not even really out of the cage because they see that I'm showing the cage. You can also get these heavy stoneware bowls. These are good for putting food in. I also have locket bowls here for more food. And then one thing I really suggest is that a lot of times with temperature changes, humidity, or even a bottle that's starting to wear out, the bottle can start leaking. So put a bowl under the water bottle. That way it's not going to leak all over the cage. You want to have, you don't want to put any small animal bedding in the cage. It's really unnecessary. It retains odors. It can also cause allergy reactions in the ferrets. Huge no-no. Never put shredded newspaper, small animal bedding, especially cedar shavings, any of that. Don't use it, period. What you want to use is just, you can use just cut pieces of fleece. These are just, I had this really nice, rather expensive fleece I bought for a cat show cage curtain, and just cut it into pieces. There you go. See the bowl digger right there. Then there's, so put those on the cage floor. It just makes it warmer too, on top of the tile. For beds, ferrets love to, you don't want to just have it where they're laying flat. It's really better for their spines to be in like suspended beds or hammocks. So, and give them, give them variety, especially if you got a big cage like this. There's tons of places to put. Just laughing. Penny's standing on the bin of litter, and the Angus is watching her. Anyway, so you want to get hammocks. This is just a cute little fleece hammock that I bought from one of the ferret stores online. Again, buy stuff online. Don't buy it at the pet store. Example is, you'd see a bed like this at PetSmart maybe, and you'd pay, $15 for it, and you look online and it's like $5 frickin'. There's also a really nice lady online. If you look up, oh God, I'm going to forget what her freaking company name is because I haven't bought from her in so long. I'll have to edit the video. But she makes bedding, and she donates all the profits to shelters. And she makes these really great hanging cubes, and they're styled just like the ones you see at the store, way better made, really cute fabric. She even had, years ago, I had this daisy bedding in my bedroom, very kind of hippie chic. And I showed her the fabric, and she's like, oh, I could find fabric to match it. And so my whole cage was bedding that matched the ferret, there it is right there, that daisy, that matched my comforter. So totally cool. So you can get these hanging cubes are really cute. You want to have lots of bedding because you want to switch it out once a week. Throw everything in the wash, put a new set of bedding. This is a cute little fish bed. This is just a big sack. It's more meant for cats, but I don't know any cat that could fit in there. That's another thing made by that. Creations by Angie. That's who it is. Creations by Angie. Litter boxes. What I did with my cage is I make the entire bottom level of my cage a litter box. So, I mean not a litter box, but the bathroom. And what I do is I have a litter box in every corner. So that way as the ferrets come out of the cage, they know, hey, I got to go to the bathroom first, or she's not going to let me out. So the litter box is right there for them. It also makes it way easier for me because I just sit on the floor. This is a big bin here. I keep wood stove pellets in it, which are the best litter to use because it's so freaking cheap and works great. Patty's so cute. And so what I do is I scoop the poop sometimes, but most of the time it's just every third day I just take all the pans, dump them out. I use a cleaner. It's just half vinegar, half water. Bought a little spray bottle. It cost me like, what, 10 cents for a whole bottle of this. And paper towels. And especially the way I have my house now, I've made this whole room kind of their room. So I've got all my supplies right here. It's so easy to keep this place. My old place used to get so messy, and